All right. So Brivo introduction, who we are and what we do. So Brivo is the worldwide leader in cloud access control. Can you see my screen okay?
Yes.
We can see it now.
Okay.
We
All
sure
right.
can. Thank you.
All right. And we were built in the cloud for the cloud, and we've been in the cloud for more than 20 years. We currently have 20 million users and we're growing every single day. We have a global reach, securing facilities in more than 42 countries around the world. And not only do we secure more than 200 plus of the Fortune 500 customers, but we secure everything right down to single family home vacation rentals. So we truly understand the security market top to bottom. We have more than 10 years of cyber audits to help to keep our platform secure. And we have more than 800 developers who use our open API to bring more value to their businesses. One of the areas we've seen the most growth is in our mobile credentials. And we currently have more than 2 million users around the world using our mobile credentials. Some of the customers we support, I'm sure you'll recognize some of the names: Google, Tesla, American Red Cross, just to name a few. And the way it all comes together is with our Brivo control panels, or what we like to call the brains of our system. Over here on the right, you see our ACS 6100 series. This is a series of mother and daughter boards. The motherboard here in this system will support up to 30 doors on a single main door board. We do that by adding the additional door boards and a daisy chain chassis to support up to those 30 doors. Over here on the left, we have our ACS 300. This is a 2-door controller, which is really great if you need a farther off location, maybe a gate, maybe you have a warehouse where you have a roll-up door. This is a little 7.5 by 7.5 inch footprint, and can be either put in a drop ceiling, it can be put right above a door, and this will support up to 2 doors. Both our ACS 300 and our 6100 series support Ethernet, Wi-Fi, and cellular modules. Here in the center here, we have our ACS 100, which is an all-in-one reader and controller. So what I mean by that is that this is yours. This is a single door all-in-one reader and controller. And this is also what our readers look like. So they come in either black or white, in either the keypad style, this single gang style, which is about the size of a light switch, or the slim mullion style. And this one is Ethernet only. Brivo is the innovation that customers have come to expect today from cloud services. Brivo Access is now available to you and can be administered through either your phone, your tablet, or your computer. We have the Brivo Access mobile app, which will allow you to manage your system from anywhere in the world, right from your smartphone. And then for our users, we have the Brivo mobile pass. For the
I'm sorry, Tammy, can I ask a quick question?
Absolutely.
This is iPhone and Droid compatible?
Yes, absolutely.
Fabulous.
So with our mobile access management pass app, you have the ability to monitor all of your system events live as they're happening real time. You can edit your user profiles, manage your users, suspend them, add cards, revoke pins, however you need to manage your users. You can view both live and recorded video. You can initiate a lockdown, and you can receive notifications right to your smartphone. Those are all things that are available in our mobile access management app for both Android and Apple. Our Brivo Mobile Pass is basically a way for you to give your users a way to use their smartphone as a credential. So they don't have to use a card or a fob. However, you can use any combination of cards, fobs, or mobile passes for a specific user. The way the mobile pass works is when you're in the admin app, you would go to your user, you're going to issue them a mobile pass as a credential. They'll receive an email like this on their smartphone. It's going to direct them to go to either the Apple Store or the Google Play Store. They'll receive a code when they download the app, they'll enter that code. It'll give them a brief tutorial on exactly how to use the app, and then they'll immediately begin to be able to open any doors that they have access to. If you're using our Brivo readers, we have something called a magic button, which means that the user can simply walk up to the door closest to them, and if they have access, push the magic button and it will allow them to enter. Okay, so now I'm going to jump right into our live access so you can see that. Just switch screens here. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and log into Brivo Access. Okay, so when you first log in, the very first thing that you're going to see is our event tracker. If you have a photo that's associated with the user, it's going to show you the photo and the user information as they're accessing that specific device. It'll give you the timestamp, the site time, the event, the user, the site name, the device. And if you have a camera associated with that user, you can click on the camera. It'll bring up all the event details. It'll show you the video playback of that user as they enter the door. It'll give you the user details, and you have the ability to add notes. So for example, if you have a policy against tailgating, which is when one user allows another one to open the go through on their credential, you might want to make a note here to either speak to their manager or an IT person to talk to them about your tailgating policy. So you have the ability to make that note here for the next admin to see.
And Tammy, does that drop down into a report? Say we wanted to do, we wanted to see events that we found to be, tailgating events for the month of March. Can that drop down into a report? Or is it a one-off?
I'd have to look to see if there's an actual report for tailgating. So when we drop down to the reports here, we can look at that and see if it is. But if not, we have multiple different ways of doing reports and multiple different notifications that we can set up. Okay. So let's see. The other thing, if you notice these little red dots, you're going to see what we call event classifications throughout your system. So anything in red is going to be a critical event. This might be something like a door forced open or something being offline. A warning event is going to be a yellow dot. This could be something like a door held open too long, or it could be a panel communication failure, or a wireless battery is low. And then an informational event just means that everything is working as it should be within your system, and that's going to be depicted by a green dot. Here in our journal, this is where you can see everything your administrators do when they are logged into the system. So you can see that I logged in. You can see I've done a few lockdowns, but if I edit a user, change a user, edit a schedule, do anything I do while I'm logged into the system is going to be noted here in the journal. If I come down here to devices, you have the ability to see all of the devices that are on your system, and these are separated by site if you have multiple sites. Across the top of every screen, we have what's called sticky filters. So what I mean by a sticky filter is if every time you log in, you only want to see a specific site, you can click that, and that's going to remain in that view every time you log in until you clear that filter. So here's where you're seeing some of those little dots we were talking about in the event classification. When I clicked on my Bethesda third floor site, I can see all of my controllers, I can see my doors, I can see my cameras, I can see my wireless locks, and all of the devices for this location are listed here. If you click on a control panel, you're going to see the last time that made contact with the cloud. You're going to see the model number, the firmware, and the control panel ID number. If you click on a door, you also have the ability to unlock a door. So say, for example, somebody calls you from the parking lot, says, hey, I forgot my card, my fob, can you let me in the door? You can quickly go to that device and unlock the door. Click yes, you'll see this pop open for about 5 seconds, pulse for them to enter, and then it'll go right back to its normally locked status. The other option you have is to do a schedule override. So say, for example, you're having an open house one day, or maybe you're having a conference and you have a door that's normally locked that you want to leave open for a set amount of time. You can go ahead and set a schedule override to either lock or unlock. You can say whether you want that to be indefinitely or until a certain time. If you select a time and enter that here, save that, and at the end of that time period, that door will go right back to its normal scheduled status. So you don't have to worry about going back in and resetting that time yourself. If you click on a camera here, I'm going to go ahead and let's see which is a good camera. Yeah, I think we'll do the Kiva one. You can see, oh, live video is not available for this camera at the moment. Okay, but you also can unlock a door right from the camera. Let's choose another camera here. Well, that's interesting. I'm not sure why that's doing that, but normally that is not the case. So here, as I said about these sticky filters, in order for this sticky filter to be undone, you would have to click it to clear all filters, And then you'll be able to see all of your locations all at once in one format again. Do you have any questions on how, oh, did I mention, here's where you're seeing all those little dots. The green dots mean everything is working fine. The red dots here saying that we have some wireless locks offline in our experience center and our file room. And then a little yellow dot. Let's see if I can find one of them. Well, a little yellow dot would be like a door being held open too long. Doesn't look like we have that right now. Okay. If you click on video, you have the ability to set your own custom layouts. And then when you click on all cameras, whatever custom layout you've chosen, you're going to see all of those cameras all at once. If you are looking at a camera and you see somebody coming in carrying a heavy object, you want to open the door for them, you can once again go ahead and open that door. You see this little blue light flashes on for approximately 5 seconds, allows them to enter, and then it goes right back to its locked status. You can also see recorded video. So you would select the site that you wanted to see the recorded video on. I'm going to choose Bethesda. I'm going to choose yesterday. Let's look at noon. And then I'm going to search that. It's going to bring up all of the cameras that are available for that area. Wow, I'm not sure what's going on with our cameras today. I'm very sorry. Let's see. You know,
Is it exactly the same interface for like small domestic customers and big companies?
Yep.
Pretty cool.
Yeah. So I'm not sure what's going, oh, there we go. There's a camera. Okay. So normally it'll pull up all of your cameras. You have the ability to click on whichever camera you want to see. And down here at the bottom, so this time that we entered of 12 p.m., it's going to show you 10 minutes before and 10 minutes after on this scale down here at the bottom. But if you need to go further back or further forward, you can just go ahead and slide the scale and it will show you that.
So can I just pause you for a second, Tammy? So I've been in your situation where I've been giving a demo to someone and something quirky happens. Trust me, I used to demo CAD software to people and things would happen.
Right.
So I feel you. But let me ask you this question. Is it because of maybe the interface, the internet connection? Because I know that in my Ring camera for our house, right?
Mhm.
If there's a glitch going on in the internet for our home, our router's got a problem, then the Ring camera doesn't work, or there's something quirky going on. And I'm just wondering if that's just a little glitch going on here. And things happen, and I'm just now I'm speculating. Do you think that's what's going on or what?
Thank you for that. And yes, it is most likely because I work from home, and it's probably my home internet.
Okay, so in other words, I'm just thinking of the scenario, we had this running at our air farm and we were logging in, and it's very similar to the Ring camera. I'm in Italy, we were doing this, right? We were in Italy, we were checking our Ring cameras just to make sure, right? That would be more of an internet glitch thing versus the setup, right? I mean,
Correct.
Is that what's going on? I'm speculating now. Help me out.
Yes.
Is that what you think is happening?
Yes, that's exactly what I think is happening.
Okay, all right.
So,
Thanks.
because normally it's not doing this, and so I'm not sure why my internet is being a little bit quirky today, but it is. So
Right.
my apologies for that. But
Okay.
yes, normally these things are all fairly quick.
Thanks.
Okay.
So your screen that you're showing right now, you said it records 10 minutes, it shows you 10 minutes pre and post what you're asking for.
Yep. So basically,
How long does it keep that recording? So say we were notified of something that happened. I think the date on this is 3/7 at this time, but we weren't notified until May that there could have been a problem. How far back can we go onto these recordings?
so in our standard edition of the software, it's 1 year. However, that being said, it's also dependent on, because Eagle Eye is a cloud subscription, basically. So you get to choose the length of time that you want video recorded at what resolution. So if you want to go back 30 days or 60 days or 90 days, Brivo keeps the data for 1 year. However, for your visibility, it may only be whatever you select for the actual subscription level that you choose to go with. but I can check with Eagle Eye on that to be sure. And definitely get you a more definitive answer. So let me just write that down, Eagle Eye.
Thank you so much for that.
No, no problem.
So the videos are 100% stored in the cloud, right?
You actually have the option. You can either choose to have them on the cloud or on a local CMVR or any combination thereof. So maybe you have certain cameras you want to go to the cloud, other cameras you just want to store locally, or maybe you want some time on the cloud and some time local. It's really completely configurable and up to whatever it is that you need.
Okay, that's awesome. And what about the permissions itself? Are they stored on the cloud or on a local server? For example, Caddy has access to a given room. Is that stored on the cloud or local?
So if she has access to a specific room, you're saying?
Yeah, I'm asking, imagine internet is down and everything is stored on the cloud, so people won't be able to access the building because there's no internet?
Okay, no, that is not the case. So in the event that your internet goes down, Brivo will still continue to work as it's designed. Everything would be stored locally on the control panel, and then when your internet is back up, it will upload all of that information to the cloud.
Perfect.
So that's
Good.
for up to 60,000 users and 250,000 events.
Awesome. That's exactly the answer I was waiting for. Thank you.
No problem. Okay. All right. So now I'm going to jump into the reports. So Brivo has done in our standard edition what we consider to be some pre-configured reports, the ones that people are asking for all the time. So you would go over here, you could select a report configuration, and let's see, what was it we were looking for earlier, like maybe a tailgating type thing. So maybe we would be looking for, let's see, first, last access, group report, holiday report, inactive users, journal, schedule, site reports, unique users, unused credentials, user activity. Let's look at user activity report. So these are the possible parameters for this. So each of these reports has different possible parameters that you can configure. So let's go ahead and create this report. And I can look here at groups, users, sites, devices, or any combination thereof. So if I just wanted to look at maybe users and sites, and then you can click here and you can add whatever users you want to add. You can click and add whatever sites you want to add with a simple click of a button. So let's see, then it says doors, devices, view, edit, active users. These are all the various sites. So if I just wanted to choose, let's choose something, Bethesda. And then if I click on just users, see. Yeah, that's not really going to do the tailgating report. But basically for the reporting function, you would give the report a name. You would select the parameters that you're looking for, and then you could go ahead and save this report configuration. Once you've saved the report configuration, you can go over here to report schedules, and you can set that report on a schedule that can be sent to you either via email or SMS text, either daily, monthly, weekly, however often you would need it. I'm trying to think of where we would see a tailgating. Tailgating might only be like the type of report you're looking for might only be available in our Enterprise Edition and Data Explorer. So if I go into Data Explorer, this is basically where you can find out virtually everything about your system in any manner or format that you're looking to find it. So if you don't like the bar graphs, you can change your visuals. You can see if you click on these things, you can either remove bubbles, you can filter them, you can zoom in, you can see details, you can see trends, you can get map visuals that you can scroll in and out of. You can see raw data tables. So if you're interested in your users or groups or your credentials, these are all the different things that you can create a report for. You can set your event times, your calendars, and many other options along the way. We have a lot of preset options for you. So if you wanted to just do one of our preset options, you could see the current year, the current month, the current quarter, the current day, the current week, any of those, or you can set your own parameters. So this is where you can literally find out anything about your system that you want to know in any kind of format that you want to see it. So if you wanted to change your visual styles, for example, if you didn't like the bar graph here, you could go ahead and make that. We'll just select the donut view. And then all of these can be exported and sent either via SMS, via PNG file, or via, let me just go back and figure this one out here. You can export in either PDF, that's the other one, PDF, CSV, CSV raw data or visual, or you could do it either email or, like I said, SMS text. So Data Explorer is a very powerful tool that allows you to go in depth very much with your system, however you might just see that. And then for the other thing in our Enterprise Edition is there's a global view. So you can see all of your locations all at once with a single click of a button. If you want to know more information, you can either scroll in, scroll out. You can click on that particular area and it'll bring up all of the events for that area. If, say, for example, you know that you're testing cards here, you can go ahead and you can make a note that the cards were tested and you can clear that one for the next admin. So those are things that are in our Enterprise Edition. And that's where I think you'd probably have to run the report to see your tailgating. But with Eagle Eye VMS, they might actually have something on their VMS side, which is what I'm going to check on, to see if that's a notification that they can immediately send or a report that they can run on their side. So there are ways to do it and ways to see it. I just need to find out a little bit more about specifically tailgating for you. Do you have any questions on how the reports work?
Sorry, I was on mute. No, I think I'm good. So Rodrigo and Bill, between you guys and probably Laura Lee and whoever the new office manager is, this is mainly your area. Do you have any questions, or is there anything that you might want to see that you don't see?
It looks great. It's a consolidated tool, so it's very nice.
It looks good. Are we going to get into quotes and the amount for this estimate? Or is that more of a different scope of the meeting for today?
It's already in the RFI contract.
Yep. So that would be a meeting with Brenda.
Oh, it's already included got it. Thank you.
Yeah. So everything that we've taken care of already with RFI, it's already handled for Brivo.
Right. Thanks.
So the other thing I want to show you in conjunction with our reports is our notifications. So if you go ahead and you want to receive a notification, you go ahead and you create a new notification. You select the notification you want that site to be for. You click next, you add your trigger event with a simple click of a button, whatever you want to be notified about. And then you set the recipients that you want to be notified. And it will either send an SMS text or an email when any of those trigger events happen. You're going to give that notification rule a name. You're going to select the language that you want that to be sent in, and also a schedule. So if you want somebody to get the report during the day or the notification during the day, another person to get the notification at night, you can go ahead and set that notification here. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to go into is our users and groups. So users is how we create identities. Groups is how we control access. So when you're creating a user, as I said, with your database, we might very well be able to push with your database right into Brivo. But if not, it's simple enough to create a new user. It's simply a matter of there's a big blue button that's not available in my demo account, which says create new user. You're going to enter a first name, a last name, a phone number if you like, an email address, and this is very important if you're going to be issuing those mobile passes. You can either upload or take a photo, and then you can create up to 60 custom fields that can say whatever you want them to say. So if you want to know who their supervisor is, what department, maybe a COVID vaccination date, anything that you want to know about your people, you can go ahead and enter up to 60 custom fields and arrange them in whatever order that you like. Here's where I was saying here at Brivo, we use Okta. You can see these are our IC connectors. This is what it's pushing from Okta into Brivo for us. So groups is how we control access, and I'm going to explain that more in just a few moments. But if you want to assign somebody to a new group, it's a simple matter. Once again, just click the button and they'll be assigned to that group. And then if you want to assign a credential, that works the exact same way. You can assign up to 16 cards per user. And you can have any combination of cards or pins or mobile passes or license plate credentials that you need. So to assign a mobile pass, it's really a matter of just clicking confirm that email address is correct and assign that credential, and it's going to send you that email that I showed you in the slides. With our mobile passes and our cards, you have the ability to set expiration dates. So say, for example, you have a contractor coming in, you're afraid, they might not turn in their card, their fob, or they may lose it, and you want to go ahead and you can set an expiration date. A contractor is going to be there for 2 weeks. You issue them a mobile pass. At the end of that 2 weeks, that mobile pass will no longer work on that user's device and will go right back into their bank, your bank, and available for reissue to someone else. Also, if you have any kind of program where you require your users to be recertified on their credentials, you can set an expiration date on all of your credentials so that at the end of that time, they could have to recertify to have their credentials work again. The next thing you're going to see down here at the bottom is the most.
Tammy,
Yep.
I'm sorry. Can I ask a question? I'm sorry,
Sure.
don't mean to interrupt.
Yep.
Can you reverse the technology? So you link the security pass to the phone. What happens if the phone is lost? Can you ping the phone?
Brivo can't ping the phone, but
Okay.
but what you can do is instantly revoke that mobile pass.
Okay, perfect.
So-
I
Yeah.
just kind of a thought, wasn't quite sure if you could actually ping a device, but hopefully nobody loses their computer or phone. So, all right, thank you. Sorry.
It does happen all the time. And then what you do is you would just go in and I would immediately suspend that user just till you can go in long enough to go in and revoke their credentials and issue them new credentials and then unsuspend them. That way, if they're, if you're using a badge, and some companies use like photos or their company name or something on their badges, and if those are lost or possibly lost, you can quickly go in and suspend the user. And then once they're either found, or you can just revoke those credentials and issue them new ones, and then unsuspend the user so that those credentials can't be used while they're lost.
Okay, great. Thank you.
No problem. Down here at the bottom, you can see the most recent activity for that user. Angie is one of our remote field agents, so she doesn't have any recent activity for our Bethesda office. But if you did, you'd see the last 5 recent activities, and then you could click on a link to the event tracker if you wanted to see all of Angie's activities for her entire duration of her event tracker history. Here in the center, these are quick links to go to the profile, the groups, the credentials, and the recent activity. You can also print badges, suspend users, delete users, or anything you need to do. And once again, this can all be done from either your computer or your tablet or your phone. So as I said, groups are how we control access. So the first step of that is to come down here to our configuration. And when you think about the groups of people that you have coming into your office, you're going to think about them like maybe you have a set of first shift employees that they're only allowed access from 9 to 5. Maybe you have a group of managers that are allowed access all the time. Maybe you have a cleaning crew that only comes in certain nights a week or certain hours at night. So those are how we define our groups. And then what you're going to do is control when they are allowed to access. So you're going to come down here and you're going to create schedules. So the first thing is that 9 to 5 group. They're going to come in at 9 a.m. They're going to leave at 5 p.m. 9 to 5. Yeah, okay. Copy that Monday through Friday. You're going to give this schedule a name, such as Monday 9 to 5. You're going to say which site this is for you, since you only have one. Right now, it's just going to list that one site. An enabling group is something like a group of what we call openers. So say, for example, you have a front door that's normally open from 9 to 5. But maybe there's some reason that door isn't allowed to be open that day, a snow day, any kind of thing like that. An enabling group is a group of people that can start the schedule. So such as your management. So if your enabling group of managers does not come in and swipe the reader, that schedule will not start for that day. So that's, if you have any enabling groups, you can set that here. You can change your or edit your block of time right here. Any holidays that you want to be observed, you can just select the holiday. And then click, there we go. And then you save this schedule. And now this is a schedule that can be applied to any device on your system. So the schedules are the first step. The next one is the groups. So now when we're talking about our groups, to create a new group, it's very simple. You simply go in, you give that group a name, you decide whether this group is going to be excluded from lockdown, which I'll explain a little bit more in just a few minutes. But once you've created that group, now you can look at all the details for that specific group. You'll see which device privileges they have. You can see all of the current devices that this user currently has access to. If you need to add a device, and you'll see the schedule that they have this access. You need to add a device, it's a simple matter of choosing the device and then choosing the schedule that you want them to have that device on. And then down below that, you can see all of the users that are in the group. If you want to remove somebody, just simple click of the X. If you want to assign, once again, you just go ahead and click on assign and it'll add that person to that group. Down here, it's just going to give you the group settings and whether that group is excluded from lockdown. Once again, we have those quick links right in the center for the device privileges, the users, or the group settings, or you can go ahead and delete the group. Across the top, once we have additional information, this is telling you how many users you have, how many groups, and how many badge templates. If you want to print badges for your users, you can create your own templates, and you can put whatever on those templates that you like. You can do both front and back, put your company name, decide what orientation you like. So any kind of badge format that you like is able to be created. So do you have any questions on users or groups?
All looks good.
Okay. So the next thing I'm going to hop down to is here under credentials. This shows you all of your cards, your mobile passes. This will tell you how many you actually have. If you quickly need to revoke one, you can just select your user and revoke their mobile pass, either under the actual mobile passes or under the user itself. Once again, you have those sticky filters. If you're looking for something in specific, you could quickly enter it here. This will also tell you about your unknown card scans. So what we mean by an unknown card scan is, say, for example, you're renting space in one building and the building itself has a different type of access control system. But you have a Brivo access control system. Many of the card formats are actually able to be read by Brivo. So unless it's a proprietary card, most likely it will allow Brivo to read that card. So you would walk up to any of the Brivo readers, and if the light flashed green, that means that card can be read, but it'll come up as an unknown card and will not allow access until that card has been scanned in and given an external ID number, and then can be added to your system. Excuse me. So you can basically tell that the system, the card format, and then you can enter an external card ID, and then that card will now be available to be able to use within your Brivo system. So if you want to use the same credential for the building and for your suite, you would be able to do that here with the unknown cards, and we call that swipe to enroll. Okay. So next I'm going to jump down here to administrators, and this is one of the coolest things I like about our system. Under administrators, there's one master admin on the account. This administrator cannot be edited or changed by any other administrative role on the account, and in fact can only be changed by Brivo with proper documentation. But you can create many other types of administrative roles. So if you need somebody's security guard, maybe you only want to give them access to a couple of doors or a couple of cameras. You're going to have a lockdown exception group. You're definitely going to want that. But what I like here is at Brivo, we have what's called a credential manager. So this role, when we're first hired at Brivo, they bring us in, they give us our cards, they take our photos, they give us our badges, and they issue our mobile passes. And they are what we call our credential manager. So they don't have access to anything on your system at all. They can't see the data explorer, the event tracker. They can't see the journal. They can't see any of the events or the devices. They can't see the live video. Once you get down here to users, then you can control exactly what access you want them to have. So either no access, limited access, which is view only, full access, which is what we grant, or you can even do custom access. So maybe you want your credential manager to be able to view users, create users, and edit user profiles, but maybe you don't want them to be able to delete users. You can go ahead and just click on disable, and that will put this over into the custom field. And that's how you can determine exactly what they're allowed to do and what not to do. They don't have access to groups or badging, but they do have full access to our card bank. Do you have any questions on administrators or administrative roles?
I'm good.
I'm good.
Good.
I must be doing a pretty good job. You guys aren't asking a lot of questions. All
I
right.
was gonna say, you're covering a lot of stuff. So, you know, when we're gonna have questions, we turn it on and we're gonna be like, yeah, she told us about this. We don't remember.
But that's okay, because I'll always be here to help. And speaking of that, down here at the very bottom, if you're in Brivo Access and you do need help with something, you can go ahead and click on Brivo Access. Say you wanted to know about these administrators roles we just talked about. You can click on administrative roles. It'll explain to you exactly what an administrative role is, and then step-by-step instructions on how you create that role. If you're a more visual person, instead of more of a step-by-step instruction, we have a Brivo YouTube channel, which we have many links to many of our videos that'll actually show you real time how to go ahead and create that. So that's a very handy tool. So down here under our configuration, you're going to see your account settings, your site settings, any integrations, application management. You can do your schedules. Once a year, you're going to go into your holidays and change those, because as you know, Thanksgiving falls on a different couple of days every year. Any specific integrations you might have, here's where you can create those custom fields we talked about, up to the 60 custom fields. I showed you the notifications. So now I'm going to jump down here into lockdown. So lockdown is an extremely powerful tool. It gives you the ability to lock down your entire system all over the world from anywhere in the world with a simple click of one button. Now, lockdown does not prevent people from exiting the building. We can't lock people in due to fire codes, but it does prevent anybody, even with a valid credential, from re-entering the facility while a lockdown is in effect, unless they're in with that lockdown exception group that I showed you under administrators, such as, you know, you can add EMS or fire, maybe your managers or maybe security teams. You could enable them to still enter the building during a lockdown. So lockdown is a worst case scenario for your entire system. You know, unfortunately, in today's day and age, that has become a necessity to protect both your employees and your property. But lockdown isn't just for your entire system. You can create multiple lockdown scenarios for anything you might need. So you mentioned when we were talking earlier that you have labs. So maybe there's an accident in a lab, and maybe you just want to, you know, lock down the lab until that accident has been cleared. You can go ahead and create a lockdown scenario. You can click on the button and initiate that lockdown. And then a big red flashing bar is going to come around the screen, and it's going to instantly notify all of your administrators that a lockdown has been put into effect. Any mobile pass users, it's going to send a message to their mobile device that the system is in a lockdown and they will not be able to enter the premises. And then there's the bar, okay. And then to clear the lockdown, you just go ahead and click clear all lockdowns, and that will clear that lockdown. But you, like I said, you can do this for any number of scenarios. Yeah, my internet is definitely lagging today. My apologies. But as you can see, we've created multiple different lockdown scenarios. You can lock down a lab, a front door, maybe a daycare, maybe a server room, maybe a janitorial closet, or anything along the lines, a stairwell, anything that you feel you may need to instantly be able to lock down from anywhere in the world. You can initiate the lockdown from anywhere, but you do have to be at a computer and connect to the internet to actually clear the lockdown. Okay, Last thing here, under your name, you have the ability, I'm sorry for blinding everybody, but if you don't like the dark theme, you can go ahead and switch to a light theme. You can change your password, or you can go ahead and log out. So that's pretty much Brivo Access. Do you have any questions or anything that you'd like to know more about?
I'm sure we will have if we start operating this system, but for now it looks like a great overview. Thank you.
Okay, well, you're welcome. Well, if you have any questions at all, either Brenda or myself, we're more than happy to answer any questions that, you may have. You have my email address from the invite for this meeting. And Brivo is very, very good about our support. So, if there's anything that you have any questions about, we have technical support, we have customer care, we have all kinds of support. We're here for you if you're using a Brivo system. I did tell you about in the event of an internet loss that the system will continue to work for up to 60,000 users and 250,000 events until your internet is back up. If you are prone to power outages, you can discuss with Brenda different various power outages options for backup, generators and things like that. But the system will not fail you in the event of an internet or power outage. We always have backups available.
Okay, that's good to know because we don't have a generator on site, and that has triggered some questions for us.
So the system will initially come with some form of battery backup. And that usually is good for, anywhere from 24 to 72 hours, depending on, how much draw you have on those batteries. But after that, that would be one of the things you'd want to discuss with Brenda is, what you want to do in the event of a full, failure of some sort, maybe the power grid or something. And we do recommend that you keep one door keyed that you have access to.
Okay, yeah, that's actually very good comment. It should be our front door, but yeah, that's good to know for hardware purposes.
So if there's no other questions or nothing else I can go over for you, I want to thank you all very much for your time today. Feel free to reach out to me at any time for anything you may need.
Great,
Okay.
thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And when you have access to the recording, please share it with us. We
I will
will
do that.
like to have it.
Absolutely.
Perfect.
Thank
And
you
then
very much.
Rodrigo, do you want to set up maybe a 15-minute phone call with Tammy to discuss Envoy and how that works?
Yes, sure. To discuss Envoy and also the integration with Jump Cloud, if that's available already, or that's actually not a big deal because even if it's not integrated, we can create users in the other way that she mentioned, but it would be a nice feature as well. So I'll do that. Thanks, Katie.
All right, no, thank you, Rodrigo. I appreciate it because half the stuff that you talk about, I'm completely lost. So we are always thrilled for your knowledge. So Tammy, thank you so much for everything that you showed us today. Again, 90% of our questions will probably come as we're sitting in front of the computer, and then all of a sudden we're like, oh, she talked about this. We should know this. We don't. We're going to call Tammy.
Yep, well, absolutely. So anything you need, like I said, I am more than happy to go ahead and answer any questions you may have. And if I don't have the answers, I can involve our sales engineers or anyone here at Brivo who you may need assistance from.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Guys have a great day.
You too.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.